everyone, and welcome to the Future Ready Librarians webinar, the 6th Annual Digital Learning App Smash. And we couldn't be more excited to have you here. This is always one of our favorite events of the year. And so let's get going because we have lots of people to share. Okay, Adam. The first thing I want to share is just a link to the slides, and you're going to want this because we're going to be sharing 25 of the best digital tools and apps that we have seen this year, and also some other resources too. My name is Shannon McClintock Miller. I am the district teacher librarian in Van Meter Community School in Iowa, and I also serve as one of the Future Ready Librarians leader, along with my dear friend, Leah.
Hi, everybody. I'm Leah Dawson. I'm the Director of Programs and Outreach for All for Ed's Future Ready Schools, and I help co-lead the librarian program with Shannon. As you guys, many of you know, the Future Ready Librarians Project is a project of All for Ed. We are committed to equity, justice, and education. Next slide. Many thanks to our partners at Follett Content who help us make all of the librarian work possible. And we'll have some exciting things to share in just a second. Next slide. For those of you who don't know, if you can, now is the time to download our new Framework 3.0. It is so important to us for you to see our new framework, which is full of new and exciting features. Thanks to our advisors, many of them who are sharing today, for all of your hard work in helping us make this framework happen.
And we also wanted to give you the link in case you want to download the Future Ready Librarians 3.0 framework. You can go to the bit.ly, or you can also scan that QR code. And so we'll be referring to this as we go through the tools too. So we're going to get started because, as we said, we have a lot of great things to share. If you have any questions or comments today, please feel free to share them in the chat, and we can't wait to see what you have to share too. So if there's something that you love or you have an idea, please use this because it's going to be great to hear all of your ideas and what you think of these tools and apps as well. So I'm first, and I have 2.5 minutes to share. And so I'm actually going to put my timer on 2 because I always have to make sure that I don't go over. And so I'm sharing Book Creator. And Book Creator, one of our favorite tools to use at Van Meter. And I work with our kids from preschool to 12th grade. We use Book Creator for all of our kids, and it is the simplest way for all learners to create content in the classroom and the library. And I love how it gives our kids the freedom to tell stories and share and show what they know in the way that works best for them through all of the accessibility features too. We have a new page on Book Creator that is all about teacher librarians. And I love this because it shows us how we can use Book Creator to curate, to collaborate, to create, and bring all these things together to really highlight the learning, and also how we can use it as teacher librarians, and even a place to be able to curate or market our library, celebrate summer reading. I'm putting things together even for our winter break. And so check out all the things on that page, and I've linked them in the slide here. Another thing on the teacher librarian page is there is a library of books, things that authors have put together, things around digital citizenship, even AI literacy. And then at the bottom, kind of in the middle, I worked with Book Creator to put together some book companions that go with my new series, ISTE Digital Explorers. And so you can scan that QR code or click on that picture and you can get to those as well. And so it's really nice because then you're able to use these if you're in a library and maybe you have a fixed library time, a great way to do some lessons around media and digital literacy. At the very bottom in the pink, you'll also find a link that you can get your 6-month premium Book Creator account. And so you can go there and you can get your account to use this in your library too and use it with your kids. And I'm so excited to see everything that you do. So check out this slide, check out all the things that I have in here, even some projects, and don't forget to check out the monthly journals. These are a great way to start using Book Creator with your kids and your teachers in the library and your school. So I almost made it. So next person.
Hey, Shannon. Hi, everybody. My name is Bryan. I'm the partner for library services in Cherry Creek Schools. We're in a little suburban district just southeast of beautiful, sunny Denver, Colorado. I'm here today to share with you one of my very favorite resources. This is Swank Streaming. Swank has been around for a very long time. They're also known as Movie Licensing USA. They've been providing copyright protection for school districts and lots of other types of entities for showing studio produced movies. They even cover Disney, believe it or not. So Swank is a company that provides licensing, but recently they started providing this amazing streaming platform, and that's what I'd like to talk with you today. This is a great way to enhance lessons. As we all know, as media specialists, we know that movies are a great way to teach the literary elements and parts of a story. You know, storytelling brings us all together. This license covers any usage in your building or in your district, whether it's by teachers teaching face-to-face with students. It might be parent or PTO groups. It could be used for indoor recess. It could be used for after-school fundraisers. It can be used for lots of different reasons. So Swank provides a catalog of over 40,000 feature films, documentaries, and foreign titles that are available to students. Teachers can use bookmarks. That feature is listed at the bottom there of the screen. Your district Swank license administrator, I'm the administrator for my district, can approve additional titles to be shown. They have this huge catalog. A lot of the ways I use this with our teachers is I use our platform as a way to start those conversations around copyright and fair use and what is allowed and what should not be done in school. I try to discourage our teachers from using their personal streaming accounts because it does violate those terms of service to use your personal streaming account for classroom use. The bookmarking feature allows teachers to assign students just a clip of a movie. So if there's only one scene you want to see, you can do that as well. So I encourage you to make sure that you're copyright compliant and that you're sharing really great media with your students and teachers. One thing I like to tell our administrators is, yes, Swank is expensive, but it costs far less than a copyright infringement suit. So we want to make sure that we're modeling safe and legal, ethical digital citizenship for our students. So lots of links on the slide, and thank you for joining me.
My name is Joyce Valenza. I'm an associate teaching professor at Rutgers University in the MI program. I hope that some of my students are listening tonight or will be listening to the little clips in the future. I'm excited to share with you Notebook LM, which is a research assistant that is developed by Google Labs. The important thing to know about Notebook LM is that it is source grounded. That means it is only pulling information from the sources that you upload and point to, and it is available to pretty much anyone with a school Google account. As different from other chatbot, as it is source grounded, you choose the materials. And so you can choose any kind of material. So say your students are studying animals or the presidents, or for instance, AP primary sources for the Gilded Age. You load the content in there and the students can interrogate the information. If there is no information, it tells you that, but it also tells you what information it is getting the sources from. Among the things I really love about this are the studio features. So for any information you put up there, you can choose which source or all the sources you want them from. It will give you audio output, and the audio can come in the form of a deep dive, a brief, or a critique. It can give you video overviews, kind of explainer videos or multiple types of videos, mind maps, and you'll see a little picture of a mind map on the bottom of the corkboard over there on the right, quizzes, reports, flashcards. The explainer videos are amazing. I like the idea that you can curate your own stuff and make your curation interactive. Among the featured notebooks are all of Shakespeare's works. And so that stuff's already up there, and you can ask questions about female characters, for instance. So you can even load criticism and ask questions about the female characters. You can gather the types of soliloquies you want. Notice that the partners include OpenStax. OpenStax is an OER textbook repository. And so those students who are studying AP US History or AP Biology or World History can interact with those texts in addition to anything else that you bring in with it. Notebook does not use your personal data, and it doesn't use any of the sources that you've embedded in there for training. So whatever you put in there is what you put in there, and only the people you share the notebook with can use it. And you can see the various different types of sources you can upload. You can upload websites, PDFs. You can upload anything that's in your Google Drive, any videos from YouTube. It's pretty amazing how much you can upload. And then you can also search the web on there and upload things from the web. You can do a regular Google web search, or you can do a Google research web search. And that allows an awful lot of curation that fits in with our Future Ready framework. And I think that one of the important things also is that it is accessible. You can ask questions and import things and translate into more than 80 languages right now. And following Universal Design for Learning, you can make materials in the forms that students can access them the best. Did I fill in the time well?
You did
okay.
Great. I love it.
Thanks.
Hi, everyone. I'm Erin Olson with the News Literacy Project, a national nonpartisan education nonprofit filled with free resources and lessons to teach news and literacy. And this includes Checkology. Checkology has over 20 lessons for middle and high school students, as well as supplementary activities, exercises, and challenges, and even infographics and posters. The lessons are taught by experts in their field and include short videos, formative assessments, checks for understanding. Checkology helps students think independently and ask smart questions about what they read, watch, or hear. Students develop the ability to identify credible information, seek out reliable sources, and apply critical thinking skills to separate fact-based content from falsehoods. Students can learn about news media bias, misinformation, conspiratorial thinking, and even how personalization algorithms work. And there's so much more. Checkology really teaches students how to consider their role in seeking, sharing, and producing information, distinguishing news from other types of information, support for explaining why a free press matters for our communities and our country. It helps students tell if information and sources are trustworthy. Of course, there's support for spotting viral rumors and AI-generated content. You can register for Checkology, create a class, and pull the lessons you want to use into your class. Students are able to use their single sign-on to access this. Checkology also integrates with Clever. And joining Checkology and being part of the News Literacy Project has numerous benefits, including access to the Newsroom to Classroom program, which connects Checkology educators with vetted journalists, volunteers who visit classrooms in person or virtually to share their expertise. All of this is free, and there's so much more than I shared and mentioned. Reach out if you'd like support, and to get started, you can go to checkology.org.
Thanks, Erin. Adam, go to one more slide. Go one more. There you go.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kristina Holzweiss. I'm an elementary school librarian now. I used to teach in the, in the high school, but I use Canva all the time. I use Canva now with the littles, excuse me, which I think is really good. So a lot of you are using Canva for flyers and worksheets and things like that, but there is so much more with Canva. Canva now has polls and quizzes and forms and charts and sheets, and just everything is integrated in Canva. Canva also has AI. So they just added Canva Code, Canva Magic Activities. Canva Code, you could literally type in what you want. You can prompt it, and it will create a game or a quiz game or flashcards, whatever you like. And if it's not what you want, you can reprompt it and learn about it and have it learn from you and have it change colors, images, whatever you like. You can actually see the code running in the background. So it might be really good to learn how to code while you're watching the Canva code. Canva Magic Activities, you can literally tell Canva what kind of activity you want. for what grade, age group, what kind of format, and it will create either a whiteboard activity that students can do together, or someone can do it by themselves, or actual different worksheets and interactive activities. So the magic code, you're creating a game for the kids or a simulation. Magic activities, you're creating an actual lesson for them to go through. So I really love Canva code and Canva magic activities. I've actually been assigning assignments through Canva. I would not do that years ago, but now that my classes are already in Canva, I could literally make something, and I can assign it to my students. They can make a copy and they could submit it through Canva. And I can also submit it, I could push it out through Google Classroom and Canvas. And there's so many other connections that you can make. So you can make GIFs, you can make videos, you can make animation. We're doing book talks with our kids, where you could take the background away, not only from images, but away from videos. So you could do short videos with your kids. You can do podcasts. There's just so many things you could do at Canva. And if you start in one format and you decide, well, I want to change the format from a presentation to a video or even to a blog post, you can literally just change it. And you could also save it that way too.
Thanks.
So I hope you love Canva, everyone.
And then she's number 6. There you go. Are you having troubles with your camera, Nadine?
Yes, I am.
Well, we see your lovely picture there.
Okay, should I just get started without my
I think
video?
that's probably a good idea. Yeah.
Okay. All right, everybody. I am going to be talking about Adobe Podcast. I'm an elementary school librarian in Pennsylvania. If you've ever wanted to start a podcast, I would highly suggest using Adobe Podcast. It is so super simple. It is one, the reason why I picked it is because it really just supports the framework and that it helps students become more effective users and producers of information and ideas, right? That's always something we want to do. And it is super simple because once you start recording with Adobe Podcast, you can edit the document right then and there. And it has an incredible enhanced audio feature. And once you record, you have a transcript that is printed out, immediately right there. And you can just backspace, delete a word. If you find that you're doing a lot of ums or ands, you can just delete it. And the enhanced audio feature takes out all that background. And you do not need any special equipment. I just use my Chromebook. And when the kids come on, I have the students just sitting right next to me. So you can do it virtually. If you have a guest that you want somewhere else, maybe somebody from another school, you just send them a link. It goes right onto their device. And it is free. I use the free version. So I use it right now. Currently, I'm collaborating with my guidance counselors. They have topics they have to teach. I have books I want to share. So we just pick a guidance counselor topic, and then I pair it with a book. We invite 2 or 3 students each month. It is super simple, super fast. And then the link just goes right into our Google Drive, and we share the link out just to our school community. So if you want to come up with some type of podcast program, Adobe is it. Think about maybe collaborating with your science teachers on having a science podcast. Maybe just talking about favorite books. You can have a book podcast. So think about any community members that you can always bring in as well. So Adobe Podcast is super simple. It's the free version, works great for me. And my podcasts are only about 9-10 minutes, which is perfect for my elementary school listeners. And it allows me also to put in some beginning music and transitional music and ending music. So if you want a great tool to bring in podcasting for the very first time, go ahead and play around with Adobe Podcast.
And then the next one, Adam, there you go.
Hi, everyone. I am Katie Larson. I am an information technology specialist with North Dakota State Information Technologies, EduTech, and I want to talk about Goblin tools. It is a series of small AI tools designed for neurodivergent students to help them plan, work with executive dysfunction and make it a little easier, execute tasks, and build some, digital literacy. A couple of the tools that it has, it's their Magic To Do, which is a task breakdown tool with AI. It also gives timing and scheduling to help plan, this thing that I don't want to do might take me only 10 minutes. I think I can suddenly manage that. It also has the professor as one of its pieces that is going to give kind of a crash course, AI based, on how whatever topic you put in. If you look at my image on the pinboard, you can see I use Sherlock Holmes as a title. And then it comes up with a level of spiciness. The more spicy you put, the more simplistic it is, because oftentimes neurodivergent students or neurodivergent people will rank things in how neurospicy it is. So they kind of play into that. They also have Formalizer to help with tone and trying to identify, is this coming across as friendly? Is this coming across as professional? I can't think of an answer. So how would I respond to this using this tone? And by just plugging in a few words, it gives students who may otherwise lack autonomy some way to make their own decisions and get some feedback where they might be in other ways shy to work with another adult for fear of sounding, or another student for fear of sounding. Peer pressure. Let's be honest, it's a lot of the times peer pressure, and they don't want to sound awful in some way, shape, or form. And this gives them a little bit more autonomy. I love this tool because it is easy. It is literally, you type in goblin.tools, get to the website, and then it's very intuitive. I love it for students because they are very, very, very intuitive in how to use it, and they have some fun with it as well, introducing those AI concepts, that digital literacy, in an easy to use way. I think I hit my 2.5 minute mark there.
Thanks, Katie.
Hi, everyone. My name is Allie Cornejo, and I'm a high school librarian in Harlingen, Texas. That big X on the screen was supposed to be a video of clips, but that's okay. I'm excited to highlight one of my favorite creativity tools, Apple Clips. And Clips is an iPhone or iPad app that is fast. It's a simple video app that lets students and teachers tell their stories without needing to know any editing skills. The workflow is really easy. You can record right in the app, trim clips instantly, add animated posters, captions, stickers, and filters. The focus is on creativity while sneakily teaching technical editing skills. Clips is also flexible with video dimensions. You can switch between portrait, square, and landscape depending on where the video will be presented. It can be like a TikTok style format, something square for Instagram, or a widescreen video for like a presentation or for Canvas or YouTube. Students learn to choose the right format for their audience and purpose, which is a big part of digital citizenship and media literacy. A feature I always like to highlight for educators is the live titles feature. When students speak in a clip video, when it's enabled, Clips automatically turns their words into captions, which supports accessibility, our English language learners, and students who benefit from visual learning. Clips also has an amazing library of built-in soundtracks with these background tracks. They're fun, they're categorized by genre. And when applied, they automatically adjust to the length of your video. And when there's dialogue, the soundtrack ducks and it adjusts. As a librarian, I've used clips for student book talks, quick digital citizenship lessons, public service announcements. Teachers love using it because it gives students choice in how they demonstrate their learning. Examples are like a video biography on Albert Einstein or a verbal explanation of how to solve a quadratic equation. If you want more project ideas, I do recommend looking at Everyone Can Create Video Guide in the Books app. It's completely free and full of inspiration. I can't wait for you to try it.
And we'll make sure to add your video, Allie, to the recording.
No problem.
Hi, everybody. My name is Crissi Branduber, and I am an elementary librarian in Brooksville, Florida. And I believe I might actually be one of the only ones who is not actually an app. So I was on TikTok and I saw the tattle phone, and I saw a little girl calling in and she just kept tattling on the students. And it was a great way to keep the teacher from having to deal with the tattling all of the time. And I thought, oh my gosh, I need that phone, but I don't need anybody tattling. So what I came up with was the Plotline hotline. And as you can see in the pictures, I have the phone sitting there on the shelf with directions, and the students can call in and they can leave a review on a book that they have read. And so it kind of guides them through it, and they're told to leave your name, leave your book review, leave the book title, leave the book review. It is such a big hit. These kids love leaving me book reviews. What I can do after they leave the book reviews is I can go in and I can follow the prompts and I can listen to the books. I can listen to the reviews. I can also pull it up online on my computer, and I can listen to them that way, and I can batch delete them all, or I can just play the ones that I want to for the students to listen to. It was originally a messaging phone for weddings, so it is available on Amazon, but I love the fact that I can also use it in other ways too. I can change it up and I can have the kids create and tell me a little bit of a story. I can have them start the story. I can start the story. They can use telephone, and they can all just continue to get on the phone and leave me messages that way. It can also be used with my guidance, where the kids can leave positive messages for each other. I also have it where they can, at any point for Teacher Appreciation Week, they can call in and they can leave a positive review for one of their teachers. I can record those, I can keep those, and I can play those back for them so that the teachers can hear it as well. However, I'm a librarian. I love to be able to have them talk all about the books. And when I can get a kindergartner or a first graders to get on there and to leave a review, and a fifth grader to get on there and to leave a review, I know that it is definitely something that is hot in our library. Thanks.
Love that. Is Katie in the room?
Hi everyone, I'm Gabrielle Mace, and last year I started experimenting with a gamified literacy environment to see what would happen if reading comprehension felt more like solving a mystery than completing a text or a worksheet. And that experiment has evolved into the detective experience. It's a narrative world where students don't just read stories, they step inside them as detectives and investigators, analysing clues, collaborating to solve fictional crimes. At its heart, it's digital storytelling space that's been built to strengthen authentic literacy skills through play and gamification. Each case takes place in the fictitious town of Anchors Bay, complete with suspects, reports, and digital dashboards. Students draw on comprehension, inferencing, critical thinking as they sift through the evidence and make decisions that seem to influence how the story unfolds to them. So to them, it feels like problem solving, and that sense of purpose creates a very different level of engagement. Reframe the whole design of it around self-determination theory, focusing on competence, relatedness, and autonomy, because those are the conditions that make learning so meaningful. Students felt competent when they cracked clues, they felt connected when they worked in teams, and autonomous when they felt their choices genuinely mattered. And for me, it reframed the role of the library. It wasn't just a space that they were going to consume stories, but it became this hub of them rushing up to look at the mystery and their inquiry and creativity and shared storytelling. So we've trialled it in a few different contexts as a whole school literacy challenge, within English lessons to support text analysis and crime fiction, persuasive writing, even a launchpad for creative responses. We've seen students write diary entries from a suspect's point of view. They've filmed police interviews, they've produced news reports, and the literacy outcomes are the same we've always aimed for, but the engagement, reflection, and collaboration were just on another level. So what I've learned from this experiment is that when we blend story, technology, and gamification, we give students an authentic reason to read and think and communicate. And it reminded me that literacy is not just about comprehension, it's about curiosity. And when we tap into that, we build skills that truly stick. And the thing I'm most proud of that came at the end of this experiment, those young men were borrowing books. They were borrowing crime fiction and true crime novels. And that was the goal. Get them back into the library space, hook them like this, and give them a bridge back into traditional literacy. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Melanie LeJeune, and I'm a high school librarian and a visiting lecturer in Lake Charles, Louisiana. And I'm going to talk about News Literacy Project with a bonus Control F. The News Literacy Project is a nonpartisan education nonprofit that helps educators and students separate fact from fiction in today's digital world. They offer incredible free resources, including Checkology, which you heard from earlier by Erin Olson. They also have The Sift, a weekly newsletter for educators, daily do now slides for quick bell ringers, and Scroll Smarter for families. Plus, their social media is full of practical tips. You can follow at Newslit Project to expand your knowledge. I love their social media feature, Two Truths and AI, where you guess which video is AI generated and learn tips to improve your detection skills. I've personally learned a lot from News Literacy Project. Their resource guides break content into bite-sized pieces, so even if you only have 5 minutes, they make it easy to embed into your curriculum. I share their materials constantly. Just last week, I sent their mental health and wellness news literacy guide to our counselors and to a science teacher who wants to teach her students how to verify health claims. Another game changer for me was learning lateral reading and how to use Wikipedia to check sources. And these are skills that I first picked up from Control F, a Canadian digital media literacy program that teaches students to find and evaluate online information using search and verification skills, just like a fact checker. At the end of October, I teamed up with our social studies department to teach every student these 2 foundational skills using resources from both News Literacy Project and Control F's example bank. Now that students have those basics, we're planning to embed Checkology and daily do now activities into the social studies curriculum next semester. The daily do now slides are updated weekly, complete with speaker notes, and they're aligned to 5 core standards. So if you have regular library classes, use the materials yourself. But if you don't, partner with an administrator or a department chair for implementation, or you can simply begin with one teacher to help integrate them. News Literacy Project also offers fantastic one-pagers, posters, and teaching guides. Control F offers free lessons and activities in both Microsoft and Google platforms, and both of them are great for quick, essential media literacy skill building. Thank you.
Hey everyone, I'm Amanda Hunt, a middle school librarian and proud Future Ready Librarian. And today I want to show you the app that has completely transformed how my students practice, create, and actually enjoy reviewing content, which is Wayground, formerly Quizzes. Wayground keeps everything you loved about quizzes, gamified learning, student-paced practice, and instant feedback, but now it adds a whole suite of creation tools that make it a powerhouse for future-ready skills. We're talking AI-powered question generation, auto-built flashcards, interactive worksheets, and clean data dashboards to help me see exactly what my students know and where they still need support. But here's the real magic as a librarian. Wayground lets students create. They can generate their own study decks, build assessments for their peers, and turn in notes into flashcards with one click. It supports multilingual learners, includes dyslexia-friendly fonts, and stays accessible and intuitive for every kid who walks in the library. We use Wayground for book clubs, book battles, vocabulary warm-up, digital citizenship checks, SEL reflections, and student-created quizzes after research lessons. And honestly, it saves me time while students get agency, creativity, and confidence. Wayground isn't just a review tool anymore. It's a creation space, a practice space, and a student-powered learning space. If there's a will, there's a Wayground.
Hey there, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, good. I kept getting kicked out. So I am Pam Zettervall from, I teach at Cape Henry Collegiate, which is an independent school in Virginia Beach, Virginia. I am a technology and media instructional specialist, primarily for pre-K through 5, but I also run down to middle and upper school. We go all the way through 12th grade if they need me. And I am an avid book creator fan. And so one day I logged in and they were partnering with We Will Write. And I told Shannon I would try this out. And guys, I cannot say enough about it. Like I did a couple of quotes there where it says, please, can we keep going? So basically it's a fun and engaging way to practice writing. And they have all kinds of AI based prompts for you. So we're getting our 4th and 5th graders ready for a standardized writing, which they absolutely hate the lessons, kind of preparing them for that. And this is just a fantastic way to do that. So you log in and you can log in and it'll give you like a lower level elementary 1 through 3 or 4 through 5, or like I said, it goes all the way through 12th grade. So it's great for everybody. I love the fact that there's a timed component, which I thought would stress them out. And a few of them at the end of the lessons, I will give them. So for example, it gives them a prompt that you can kind of see on the screen, and they will have 2.5 minutes to write about that. And it may say something like, be as descriptive as you can, and it grades you on what it's asking you to do. So if it's asking you for description and vivid language, that's what the AI is grading you on. And when I say grading, it picks the best. The kids get to vote on what they like, and where basically they're grouped into 3 to 4 random groups. They don't know whose group they're in, and they're picking they're basically picking the text that they want to represent them in the finals. At the end of it, I give them, thumbs up, thumbs down, tell me why. Guys, I've now done this with 400 kids in the last few weeks, and I've gotten 2 thumbs down. And that has only been because they feel inadequate in the typing. Mm-hmm. And so they've given me a lot of really good feedback. And I just think I can't say enough about it. It is inexpensive. I think it's $60 right now. They've got free trials, which you should try. I don't know how much time I have. I can't see the little ticker thing, but the one I have in the middle there, I've created myself, where it says create your own. And I've done that for South American Global Study for 2nd grade. So I have Victoria Falls, and I have something in there about traveling through the Amazon rainforest with your class and encountering a jaguar in the jungle. And it's just, I just can't say enough about it. Please try it out. And I hope you're not going to be disappointed. My kids have loved it. They've asked if I could send it to their parents so they can play at home. You have to have at least 3 players. I did find that out. But yeah, it's We Will Write, and it's perfect for future ready librarians.
Hi, everybody. I'm Katie Capshaw, and I'm a middle school librarian in Tennessee. And I'm here to talk about Beanstack, which is a motivational way to get your kids to read through gamification and competition. There are no quizzes, no reading levels. It's read anything, anytime, anywhere. And it's basically a digital reading log, but it's super easy for students to log their reading through starting a timer or logging it manually. They also put in a title. And it has a cool feature where they can scan the ISBN of the book and it'll automatically upload that. They love to turn on their cameras. You can do it on your computer or through an app on a device. It integrates through Clever or ClassLink or whatever you use, and also pulls your data from your school student management system. And so it automatically makes your classes. It's super easy for teachers to use. They can do reading challenges. They can set them. They're customizable, but Beanstack also has templates that you can use. They earn digital badges along the way as they set those reading goals, and it's entirely up to you how you do it. Or you can also do tangible prizes, whatever works for you. The students can friend each other. They cannot communicate, but they can give each other book reviews, and they can leave. They can have a leaderboard and see who's winning with their friend group, with their grades, with your school, and with other schools in your district. It's a lot of fun. The kids have really enjoyed it. It's super easy for the teachers. They can also leave a book review, or you can do teacher-led activities, or you could do like a standards-based prompt that goes along with your book. So there's lots of different ways to integrate it. Also, last year we read almost 900,000 minutes in our school of about 1,200 kids, middle school 6 through 8. We're on track to do it again this year, and our test scores increased since last year. So that was a lot of fun. It's a great way to motivate your students, to have those conversations with your students. There's also several integrity checks through it to make sure that they're not cheating or over logging their minutes and things like that. Even my structured intervention kids, who are the low-level kids, are also doing that and having a lot of fun along the way, and they love to come to the library and get their prizes. So it's lots of fun. Highly recommend. And it's a lot cheaper than other motivational programs. I'll say that. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Rachel Welsh. I'm a middle school librarian in South Texas, or kind of on the Gulf Coast, and I'm here today to talk about Stickity. So Stickity is a Google Workplace add-on that you can add digital stickers, icons, GIFs, timers into any Google application. So slides, docs, forms. The coolest thing is that it was created by a teacher, by Lauren Heil. Is that how you say her name?
Yes.
Yep. Yay! I've only interacted with her through text, so I wasn't sure how to say her name, but she's so sweet. And because she's a teacher, she knows exactly what we need to increase that accessibility for our students. This is a fun visual way to make digital lessons more engaging. It's built with accessibility in mind. It uses high contrast colors, clear visuals to support all of our learners. So I have used Stickity in different ways. I've used it for teaching research skills and adding visual cues like a magnifying glass for search, having notebooks for take notes, check marks for where we're citing our sources. These icons help my students follow each step clearly, especially the ones that are multilingual learners. I have students from Turkey, from Venezuela that are, straight from there, and the ESL teachers aren't really capable of, handling the translations. So having some icons that are universal is so helpful. I've used Stickity with book clubs and reading programs. We create interactive slides where the students are able to use emojis and icons to show how the stories make them feel, how they're feeling about plot twists, talking about their favorite characters, who they're shipping, depending on what we're reading. When we lead digital citizenship lessons, I use stickers as discussion prompts with a thumbs up or thumbs down for different scenarios for online behaviors and social media. These are also perfect for library orientations and scavenger hunts. I've created a digital map of my library and had students place stickers where they find the different sections. So where their favorite books are, what the different genres are. They can use the icons, use the stickers to mark it directly on their maps, and that makes it personal to them for their library usage. I've also used Stickity for staff training. Let's be honest, teachers are pretty known for not reading emails all the time. So having icons on these forms, on these docs and slides makes it much easier for them to get the information, to kind of flash where the important stuff is. For all of those busy teachers that say that they don't have time to check their email, they're able to look at something at a glance and see exactly where they need to look. So Stickity is turning our everyday Google tools into creative, inclusive learning spaces. It's helping me to communicate visually, engage learners meaningfully, and it helps me make the library a place where information truly comes alive. So thank you, Stickity. And I also have a code on the on my slide for 50% off the yearly pro plan. So if you're interested in that, then that is Librarian 50 for 50% off. Thank you, Lauren.
Hey, I made it.
Yay.
So I'm Debbie Tannenbaum, and I am not a librarian. I am a school-based technology specialist, which is another fancy name for a ed tech coach. And I am in an elementary school in Fairfax County, Virginia. And I'm going to talk to you all about Padlet. I absolutely love Padlet, and I'm looking, I see you have an earlier version of my slides, but when you refresh, when you get the things, you'll see I've even a couple more things added. And basically what Padlet does is it's a digital canvas that really lets you use it almost like an online bulletin board. One of the things that I really love about Padlet, especially recently, is it used to be like, if you look at the screen, you'll see that there's a Padlet on the top and one on the right. That's what most of us think about Padlet. But Padlet now has this awesome place called a sandbox, and sandboxes are free, unlimited till the end of the year. So I wanted to make sure I highlighted that. I am a huge fan of universal design for learning, and Padlet's really great for that. The example that's on the top is for my fourth graders. They're getting the opportunity to research how a government helps them to solve a problem. And that was super overwhelming for my fourth graders. So I was able to curate all of those resources in the Padlet so that my students were able to access it and easily do their research. On the left-hand side is an example of a sandbox. And for this, you can customize what your students can use. You can use drawing, you can use text, you can do audio, you can add in files. You have so many choices, and the same is true with the Padlet boards as well. And the nice part is you're in control. Do you want to moderate your students' comments? Do you want to only allow them to use certain tools? You are the one who gets to do all those things. Did I lose my time? No. And so I love especially using Padlet when it comes to Harvard's Project Zero's thinking routines, because it allows us to make all of the thinking visible for the entire learning community. You can also do it if you wanted to, as far as collaboration with especially a sandbox or with a board where students only have access to one page. So that's another great way. It's called a breakout room. It's just one of my favorite tools. And I think that it's a great thing for everyone to use, especially librarians.
Hi, everyone. Rain Smith. I'm the school library media specialist at Whiteland Community High School, which is just south of Indianapolis in the metro area. I'm here to talk about Loom. While not a complicated app, it is a video messaging tool with instantly shareable videos. The minute you're done recording, they're in your folder. You can record your camera, your microphone, and your screen all at the same time from a little control on your computer. And there are built-in tools to Loom. So it allows you to summarize, edit your videos, add chapters to your videos, transcribe, which is one of my favorite tools. You can attach activities with your videos. There's a drawing tool. You have privacy controls. So as a future ready librarian, this helps us strengthen our curriculum. It adds context to assignments, and it personalizes learning. And so when Shannon asked me to join and I was thinking about all the tools I use, this one popped up because I was literally using it in class that day. And I am a high school librarian who currently is in a temporary library situation. So I'm in push-in all the time in teachers' classrooms, and I don't get back to visit a second time when I've delivered a lesson. So I literally will record a Loom video while I teach so that anybody who was absent while I was gone can have that in their teacher's classroom. Other uses I use for Loom, we have a game space. Traditionally in our library, we have over 100 plus board and card games. Students are now recording quick start guides. So somebody can sit down and learn a game quickly by pulling up the video. And I have students doing that, so I don't have to stop and teach them. We do quick start video guides for our makerspace activities as well. So like how to use the button maker, how to bead, do them, like I said, for the lesson plans and absences. It is also really super important for differentiated support. There are 46 languages spoken in my building. And from the Loom transcription, it will transcribe what I have said. I can then put that in another app that puts it in the language that our students speak. So on my screen example here, you'll see an English translation, and then you'll see the one in Punjabi because we have a large Punjabi population. So students can read my lesson in their home language as well as watch the video at the same time. And we know that reading and listening together enhance learning. Lots and lots of other things. I'm sure you can find a million uses for this as well, because it's just video. It's video and talking to your screen, and it's pretty great. So thank you very much. This was fun.
Hi, everyone. I'm Rachel Lemansky, and I'm an elementary library coordinator from Central Massachusetts. I am thrilled today to introduce you to KaiBots. It is my go-to tool for bringing engaging hands-on coding and problem solving to the elementary library. As a Future Ready librarian, I am always looking for ways to connect technology and literacy and cross-curricular learning, and KaiBots really delivers for me. KaiBots are interactive, screen-free robots designed to teach foundational coding skills. So what makes them stand out? They are incredibly visual and tactile. So unlike other robots where coding might feel abstract, KaiBots use physical cards and immediate light up feedback, which makes sequences easy for all learners to understand. This makes them highly accessible for every student, whether they are pre-readers or those with diverse learning needs. Plus, my biggest plus, they are significantly more affordable than many other classroom robots. KaiBots are a perfect fit for the Future Ready framework. This is a tool that transforms our use of space into a collaborative hands-on lab, and it builds instructional partnerships with our teachers by integrating coding and critical thinking across all of our subjects. To help you do that, I've created an entire book creator book, Getting Started with KaiBots, which is packed with these cross-curricular integration ideas. And you can also find even more lesson plans directly on the Kai's Education website. So if you are looking for an interactive, visual, accessible, and affordable way to engage your students, I highly recommend exploring KaiBots. You can grab my book, it's linked on the slide, check out Kai's Education, and empower your students with these fantastic robots.
Hi, I'm Heather Brown. I'm actually a math and STEAM teacher from East Coloma Nelson Elementary School in rural Illinois. And I know I'm in a librarian webinar today for the first time in my life, but honestly, librarians and STEAM teachers are very much on the same mission. We both create spaces where kids can explore, experiment, and get curious, which is exactly why I'm excited to share this tool with you. And it goes along with what Rachel just told you about with the KaiBots. So this is called Kainundrum, and it actually grabs the kids' attention instantly because they get to guide a customizable KaiBot avatar through different puzzles and mazes. and they get to choose how they control it. They can use block coding, Python, or even just the arrow keys if that's where they're comfortable. And there's no robot required. So if you only have a couple of the robots, a few students can be using the robots while the rest are doing the Conundrum. So it makes it easy to use anywhere. Conundrum also includes over 25 pre-made lessons, including the one based on The Very Hungry Caterpillar. So you can connect coding to literacy or other content areas without any extra planning if you don't want to. But my favorite part is definitely the creation piece, because students can actually design their own puzzles and share them with their classmates. And you can create the puzzles too. Librarians and teachers can build their own custom challenges that introduce a topic, reinforce a skill, or even set up a station activity. And if you want an easy place to start, there's a free Conundrum Lite app if you have things like iPads that have the puzzles ready to go for you. Now, for Future Ready Librarians, Conundrum checks off several boxes. You are supporting digital and computational literacies, building collaboration, and turning your library into an innovative makerspace, all without needing the actual additional equipment. Now, there's a lot of ways that you can use it with students. For example, you can use it with the Very Hungry Caterpillar maze during a literacy lesson, or have students create a puzzle based on a science cycle or a different concept. Like if your class is studying the United States, you might have them map out a course through the United States on this map. And to make getting started even easier, I've also included a few short little videos in my slide, and that will help walk you through some of the basics. So Conundrum brings creativity, coding, problem solving, and student voice together in a way that fits perfectly into a future ready library, even if the person sharing it today is a math teacher from down the hall. And again, it connects perfectly with the KaiBots that Rachel just talked to you about.
It's way at the bottom, Katie.
Thank you. Hi. Welcome all. I am a high school teacher librarian in the midst of doing it all right now, helping some people with some great research. So Cami, some people think of it as, oh, that annotation tool everyone used during COVID. Okay, so much more. They totally embrace UDL, and it's there everywhere. There are so many really cool adaptations for people and different ways of access for various needs of accessibilities. And I wanted to highlight a few of them, like the read aloud function. It can play on a loop. It will play a whole document. It can play a snippet. You can change the speed. You can change the voice. And really want to highlight what they have under understand. 150 and counting various translation opportunities. Like that is such a game changer for our students. Like even if you're bilingual or trilingual, like usually we go maybe to 4, not me, but like some people can get that many, but never 150. So there's all that. And I love when we can bring in multiple literacies at once. And I love highlighting visual literacy. So I've taken like a traditional notice wonder bit. Maybe we've all done that, but have you done it with annotation where they're really marking up the image and directly making those connections? So seeing those lines going to, this is what I think, and this is the part of it that it came to. It's like, oh wait, there's more. So let's make those posters and flyers that we have all up in the space come alive. So I'm highlighting some of my genre labels right there for us. So I got this poster, like, hey, these are the different genres that are in my space. Okay, what if you don't know what that really means? Well, I can go ahead and have an interactive like video recording or something on there so the students can just go ahead and play that and hear me explain what that is, or what's the minutiae difference between dystopia and science fiction and retellings. What in the world is that? I've got all that. And then we've got when graphs go bad, that's what I call it a lot. Like graphs like totally don't make sense, or they're like, you know, so disjointed. They're applying ethos, logos, pathos in a bad way. So you can do it like elementary level or higher up those words like that for secondary. And we're still going to go ahead and go back and like mark it up and have these various opportunities of how we're making the connections. They can respond in a video. It could be text. And then I've got just an advertisement there. Let's go ahead and dissect that. Like, what is it? How can we do it? And still like, but wait, there's more. We can collaborate on it and really, really see who's doing what. So like, think about Google's version history, but soup it up like to the power of 10. And that's rocking in Cami. And even though I know I'm talking wicked fast, it's like, oh my gosh, I only have 2 minutes. The key thing that this does when we have them go back and really like bring in some of these drawing tools with what they're doing to show their understanding, is making them slow down and show the thinking. That's what we really want to see. The best way for us to be able to help kiddos is when we understand their thought process. Did I make it?
You're great.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jill Johnson, and I am a K-5 educator from Orlando, Florida. I am super excited to share one of my all-time favorite ed tech tools, because this one is essentially allowing my life to be a little bit easier in using all of the other ed tech tools. There's a lot of great things out there as we're learning from this app smash, but sometimes that can be overwhelming and it kind of paralyzes us, and we don't use all of these great apps. We don't use all of these great resources and websites and videos and all of these things that we have access to because it is too much. So Symbaloo is a way to curate those and allow a bit more ease of use so that you can use these wonderful apps and you can share them out. Your students are able to use them for all of these wonderful benefits in a way that is meaningful and also manageable, because again, there's a lot out there. So how can we make that more streamlined? So Symbaloo is essentially a bookmarking tool. It's there so that you can have access to all of these different resources in the way that works for you. So as a librarian, if you're looking to streamline books that are centered around a specific theme, or you're looking to share coding resources that can be given out to parents or to a school club, perhaps you don't have students rostered to you specifically, and you need to be able to share out things in an easy way. Symbaloo is that tool. All you need to do is share out the URL. So I like creating QR codes where it's linked straight to that Symbaloo's webmix, and I can make it as a magnet, send it home to my parents so they can put it on their refrigerator, and they instantly have access to the Google form I want them to fill out. It could be set up as YouTube videos that are specific to, again, perhaps a holiday or a monthly focus that you're doing. It also is accessed by any website, any app, any iPad, any tool that is allowed to use the internet. So your students don't need a login to be able to utilize this resource. Your parents don't need a login to be able to utilize this resource. As long as they can access the internet, then they can access your Symbaloo webmix that you've created. The other great benefit is that you do not need to take all of the time to create your own Symbaloo webmixes. You have that option if you want, but you can also look for ones that were previously made by other teachers, librarians, people from all over the world are using this tool. So there's already some really great resources that have already been made for you. And then you can copy those and perhaps just edit a couple of them. So maybe you want to take off, this link, and then add in your link and this other link. You have that access and it's all free to use. I really love it because it helps me allow access to all of these great resources that are out there. But again, it helps me save time in the classroom so that I'm not having to search out and create everything completely from scratch. So if you're looking for a way to curate all of these great tools, all these great apps, and being able to share them out, Symbaloo is definitely the one for you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Kelly Martino, an elementary teacher librarian in Tracy, California. And today I'm sharing Cloud Stop Motion. It's stop motion animation. And Cloud Stop Motion is free. It's browser-based. So that means it works on anything with an internet connection and a camera. And there's nothing to install. You don't need an account to use it. There's the option to set up an account, but it will still save your projects up to a certain time frame. I don't know exactly what it is, but if you want it saved, create the account. But I've done it with students just in one lesson, and we got it done, and they downloaded the stop motion and then added that to their Google Classroom or Teams or whatever. So it worked out that they didn't need the account and they didn't need to save it. So what I love about it is that students are planning their story, they're scripting, they're creating their background. We've used Lego minifigures. We've used students have animated their natural disasters. We've done all kinds of different things. One teacher did We Will Write. She was using We Will Write, and I had the idea, well, why don't we animate their stories? And then I was thinking you could also reverse that process, because in the video on this slide, you'll see that another teacher librarian and I created a video, and we just came up with the story right there, and we worked in teams, and then you could have those students write a story based off of the stop motion animation you created, and you'll have two different stories based off of that stop motion animation, and they could add more details to it and stuff. But it's, practicing sequencing, project planning, media creation, revision, all of that. And it's collaborative. It could be used in any subject area, really anything to tell any kind of story. And it's engaging. Every kid loves it and wants to do it. It's high creativity. It builds digital learning skills. It supports curriculum across grade levels. It's just a great place to start. And I don't know, Shannon, can we play the video to see some of the stuff?
Can you play that video?
I can't. But so if the slideshow is shared, then you can play the video. But the QR code right there is a copy. I created it, the slideshow in Canva. So if you want my slideshow, a copy of it to teach students, but also my videos are on that too. So the QR code takes you to your own copy.
Hi, everybody. I am Debbie Zeman. I am a high school librarian in Carrollton, Texas, and I'm excited to share Adobe Express with everyone. I am an Adobe Express or Adobe Creative Educator Innovator, and I love sharing all my ideas. Adobe is just a simple, powerful platform for creating and sharing digital media that sparks imagination and inspires critical thinking, and definitely builds future ready skills. And the thing that's great is for all educators, it's free. It's both web-based and an app. My students use the app. I use the web. When their iPads don't work, they can just log in onto a spare laptop and continue their work. As a librarian, I love creating all my graphics. I create stats, infographics. I create my First Line Friday videos. And the thing that I really love is now with the generative AI, I can either use the Adobe stock, or I can have Firefly create a video background of anything I really want. That's one of my favorite things. I also create web pages, newsletters. And my favorite thing about Adobe Express is the guided activities. These are a game changer because you share it with the students and it opens it up. And on the right side of the screen, it walks them step by step. So they can either watch a video of what's happening or they can read the directions. These are 3 of my favorite guided activities, and they're a little bit of a twist. The community quilt is one where the kids can talk about the state that they're from, and they can create with the generative AI a shape of a state. What I did on mine is I created it based on a book that I had read, and the kids can do the same thing. So instead of the boring old book report, you'll know they read if they get the symbols and the colors and the quote right. There's also the book bento, where you can use the activity to have them remove an object and replace it. And you, as a teacher, can create them, or as a librarian, create them and have the kids try to guess what book that is. And I'm wondering if anybody can figure out what book I did there. It's a windmill, a white flag, a belt, and I believe it's a steer's skeleton. Any ideas, Shannon?
I'm thinking.
Okay, I'll go on. And then my other favorite is the self-portrait. I loved creating it as myself, and it's a great icebreaker with the kids. But you can take it a step further and do a character self-portrait. So after kids have been doing literary circles or an assigned book, they can create one for their character. So this one is Lizzie Bennet from Pride and Prejudice, one of my favorite books. So she's a reader, she's a sister, daughter, independent, friend, proud. Again, I can't even praise Adobe for all the different guided activities. I actually used one. It was the Illustrate a Storybook, and it was with ELL students where they had written a personal narrative. They broke it up into 3 pages, and then they created images based on what they had written. And it was also good because they were editing as they were going along. So there were no more mistakes in their personal narrative. So again, Adobe Express, it's one of my favorites, and you should try it too.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yep.
All right, perfect. So my name is Paige Chambers. I'm the librarian and the makerspace teacher in Franklin Square in elementary school in New York. And I'm going to be talking to you about the Achievery, which is very cool. It's made by AT&T, and it is an online platform that's free for everyone to log in and use. And it has engaging lessons that are already planned out for you with videos, with comics, with activities, hands-on. And they have 7 different subjects. So like you can go in and search whatever you want. I use it mostly for digital literacy, digital citizenship, SEL, but there's also math, there's science, there's health, there's all kinds of things in there. So you can definitely search. What I love most about it is it's made in collaboration with all of these companies that we know and we love and we trust. So you know that the content is good, it's vetted, it's not just made up from wherever. And so I have some examples of like a lesson on the slide here. I have the collaborators that are there as well. You can create your free account here at the bottom. I have the little bit.ly. Let's see. Read the slide. I started sending these out monthly to my 6th grade parents, and I've gotten really good feedback about how they really enjoy the site, and it's easy to use and easy to follow, and that they're enjoying all the information. It's opening up great conversations on digital literacy and things with their children. And so check it out. We made it to the end, friends.
Okay, and I am going to wrap it up here with one of my favorites, and I'm sure a lot of you use this, and it's Tidal Wave from Follett Content. And this is just the best online collection development and curriculum support site that we have as librarians and educators. And I love it because everything is very easy to find. If you are looking for books and resources around special topics, I love going there. I was looking today, ordering some new books, even being able to look up book reviews. It's great because you can filter by reading and grade levels. And so me working with kids from preschool to 12th grade, I really appreciate that as I am making lists. And then one of the things that I really love too about Tidal Wave is that I'm able to see very easily if I have the book, if it's already in a list, if it meets like those best of the Tidal Wave criteria that I have set, and I can see them in ribbons on each book. And so that is really handy as we're searching for books too. Another thing is you can sign up to see the new releases in series. And I don't know about you guys, but my kids ask a lot of questions about when their new series, when the books are coming out. And so you can sign up for that to get that then in your email every month, which is really nice too. And the kids love it when I tell them what they have in those new series lists. And so you can sign up for that as well. So that is a real time saver and really great when we're building our list as librarians because we're busy. Another thing just to mention is that a lot of the books too, if there are resources, then they have things in there that maybe there are additional things that go along with the books. And so like last week I was working on a Jory Johns list and I found so many great things that went along with the books. So you can sign up for free at Tidal Wave here. And also you can stay connected by clicking on that link with the stars. And so lots of great things. And this has been so fun. I have taken so many notes and have learned so many things from all of you. And so I'm grateful for everybody as we share. So just really quick, I wanted to share a few Future Ready Librarian resources. First, I wanted to share the link again, just in case you didn't get it. And this will take you to all of the slides. And then we'll share the recording very soon after we have that ready too with all the resources. You can also download the new Future Ready Librarians 3.0 framework. Make a copy, hang it up in your library, and share it too. And it's great because we made this little frame in Canva, and you can grab that link and then celebrate. I was with librarians today in Long Island, my friends in Garden City and New Hyde Park, and we took a picture. I can't wait to share that. And so grab your frame, and then you can share that too on social or hang it up in your library and advocate for being a Future Ready librarian. You can also find all this information on our Future Ready Librarians Hub. And one thing on here that I always love to share is to sign up for the Future Ready Librarian Facebook page. It's on this slide. And then the next slide, I think, talks about our webinar series. And this was the last one of 2025. And on this page, you can find all of them throughout the year. So they're all linked and the videos are there too. And then I think on the next slide, we talk about our podcast. And right now we're actually in season 11 of our podcast series. And I've had so many great guests. Some of them have been on our show tonight. So you can check out season 11 and all the seasons wherever you listen to podcasts. And then we also have a few others. And so Adam and Carl Hooker have one. And then our dear friend Tom Murray has one as well. So connect with all of us in Future Ready and stay connected and tag us if you are posting. I took some pictures tonight too, so I'll be posting them. And we're just so grateful for all of you. And we're also really grateful for Follett Content and the support that they give us in the Future Ready Librarians program. So thank you, friends. We're so proud of the journey that you're going to take as a Future Ready Librarian this year and the one that you have been taking. I am so grateful for everyone who joined us tonight and also for the presenters. You guys are amazing. And so thank you so much. I appreciate every one of you. This is always one of my favorite things that we do every year. This is our 6th one. I can't wait until do this again next year. But it's also something that after the end, you're like, yes, we did it. So we did it, friends. And you guys deserve to take now a little rest. And you're just amazing. So thank you, Adam. And thanks, Leah. And we'll see you guys soon.